Invite your people. Oh, look, we're sitting on the wrong side.
Oh, we sitting on the wrong side?
Yeah, 'cause normally
It says,
Come on, invite your followers. There it is. Hear the song. Too real. Too real.
I can't hear
I
you.
hope you can't hear it?
Nothing.
Nothing? Sorry. Let's see. How's that? Hey guys, we are back.
Oh, yes, we are. How many weeks were we off?
We were off 100 weeks.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, I got a new word of the week.
Oh,
Based on that
well, come on, do me a favor as we're getting ready to start. I need you to I need you to put your kids to sleep, number one. Then I need you to invite your followers. I need you to share on Facebook and Twitter. And we want you just to get everybody in here as possible.
You got a new name.
I am Jaquet Dumas.
And I am Sherman Dumas II.
According to our producers.
Yes, according to, should we switch seats?
I am not a second. Let's switch.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, that could be so weird.
That's
here.
better.
Okay.
Hey,
Not really.
guess who's back?
Woohoo!
Back
So
again.
what's been going on? What have you been doing for your 100 weeks off?
My 100 weeks off, I have been working my R's off. I have been working very hard and taking care of you, making sure you have a good life that you live in.
Alright.
And yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
I
I've
don't
been
know if I
doing.
like the full body shot.
I like the full body shot.
I don't know. I missed the
Just
table.
gotta make sure I'm right on the left and the right.
You said taking care of you. That's not.
So since we stopped the show, we had the Freedom Conference, and that was phenomenal.
That was after we stopped the show.
It was after we stopped the show, and we had
That's
people
awesome.
come from all over the freaking frat country to be a part of the Freedom Conference, and people got free, healed, joyful, worship, all that stuff, and so that was really great.
They got joyful.
Mm-hmm. They received joy. They became joyful. I can sense you.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing?
There was a lot of people.
It was. What have you been doing?
We came in the green, so that's early.
We came in the green. Were you concerned about us coming in the green? Did you think we were going to lose money?
I'm always
The people said Freedom Conference. Somebody said it was so good. Oh, Freedom Conference was my first experience with this ministry. Awesome.
Oh, cool.
Well, I'm happy you were. I hope you were blessed. You did say that, so I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, I was like, be careful because they didn't exactly say that. So we've been moving for like 60 days. We were supposed to close in 30 days, and every day is something new. So last week they asked for a copy of our neighbor's credit report.
Shut up.
Then 2 weeks before that they asked for our firstborn to sign away his second kidney. So it's just like something new every day. So at this point, when they ask us to sign stuff, then, it just comes through the email and I just sign it. So any paperwork that I've signed in the last 5 days, I have no idea what I signed. I just sign it. I docu-sign it. I just stamp it.
Really? Like, we got to the closing table and we were like,
Something else.
Just whatever.
And so at this point, we are in our new home, technically.
We are in it.
Technically.
Like, actually right now.
Yeah, even though it's not exactly closed yet, but we're here because we know the owner, which is awkward.
That was awkward. To me, it was a bit of, because I'm a prophet, if you didn't know. And to me, it was a bit of a sign that we were supposed to get this house when we end up knowing someone who directly knew the owners.
Yeah, so yes and no.
No?
So anyways, so we got the key directly from the owner, even though we're not really closing the house. So we've been moving forever. It's been an awful process. This is not our first home. Houses you did not build. Oh, but I might as well have built it. Listen. all the money that I put down
it's really been that
on this house, I might as well have built it. So, no, houses you did not build and all that sounds like, something supernatural dropping in my lap. I might as well have built this thing.
From the ground up.
Listen. So this is not our first house. Our first house buying experience was definitely better than this. This one was crappy. But it was time to get in the market because the market is awful right now.
It's a seller's market right now.
Yeah.
In our area, at least.
Yeah. So what else have you been up to?
We spent some good time with the kids this summer. The kids have been off.
I didn't.
I did.
Oh.
The kids have been off.
We spent way too much time with our kids this summer. They did not.
I thought you were there. Why are you saying it like you weren't there?
No,
okay.
Because they did not go to summer camp because we let their grandmother convince us to let them stay with her for the summer. And every other week she'd be like, "Oh, I forgot. I gotta."
Please don't do this.
And I'd be like, "Listen, this is the agreement that y'all made,
yes.
you and these grandkids."
Yes.
But I told my kids next summer they going to summer camp. They going to Christmas camp. They going to spring break camp. They going to Thanksgiving camp.
Never stay home again.
Matter of fact, if they have weekend camp, I'm signing up my kids for weekend camp. I said because I like to pick up my kids when they get out of school. Having them jokers all day, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I'm not made for this mess. I'm not cut out for this. So no, I like to spend the normal time that I spend with them in the summer when they get out of summer camp.
Yeah.
So no, too much time. And their school changed the school year, and so they're off like an extra month. So while all y'all been posting y'all pictures, y'all nappy-head kids, going back to school.
Why you call them nappy-head?
Listen, our little nappy-heads is still sitting at home, eating me out of house and home. So no, I don't like that part of the summer.
And ours really are nappy-headed.
They really are. They really are. They don't have that silky stuff.
No, they're all, two are locked and the other don't like to really get their hair cut.
Yeah, so it's definitely nappy all throughout the middle.
It's just a nappy head house.
It's good on the sides, but all down the middle is nappy. What else did we do this summer?
We celebrated my birthday. The National Sherman Dumas Day. Why are you looking like that? That was one of the highlights of your time.
Oh. Hey, man.
Was to celebrate me.
Hey, man. We have solar panels in here, but I feel like the air is not really working. It's very warm in here.
Oh, okay. Can somebody turn our air down? It's over here. Trying to make it cooler for us.
Is that the exchange? Is that your air don't work as good?
Because you got solar panels?
And the lights are a little dimmer because you got solar panels?
Nah, I don't think so.
The sun didn't shine bright enough today because it's hot.
I cannot. Listen, y'all, I want you to invite your followers, share on Facebook and Twitter. Let everybody know Too Real, Too Raw is back in the building. Sherman and Jaquet, we are here today, so we want you to invite, share. Let as many people know that we are here as possible.
Sure.
What's our next segment?
Our next segment is Raw News.
Raw News. And we're going to do something a little different this go around. We're going to invite some friends to come and hang out with us in Raw News. So I want my friends to come over. Friends, why y'all still sit on the stairs? That includes you. Come on.
I feel afraid.
Yay! Come on, let's be excited when you come in here. Come on this side. Come on in space. Come on, friends. Move over to your cat. Come on, sit on the couch. Sit on the couch. Yes. Come on. There's space. Sit on the couch.
I'm so afraid.
Hey everybody, look at all my people. So we're excited. It's been a really great week, and something really happened that was really, really great. One of my spiritual sons in Vegas had a triumph. He had a victor. You know who my spiritual son is?
Talking about Mayweather?
Yeah. What did you think about that fight, Sean?
I really wanted Mayweather to lose. I'm not gonna lie.
You wanted him to lose.
Why?
You
are a hater.
You're a loser.
I'm not saying I'm a McGregor fan, but I mean, I just like to see somebody that talks so much like to experience a loss.
But you want him to go through 49 wins and then like tarnish his reputation at the end?
Yes.
But he works so hard. Like he's
salty.
Like he's like super like focused, and I mean like he works hard for him.
You didn't see McGregor focus too?
No. He was
I saw McGregor.
No, he was like, yeah, that's all I saw.
I mean, Mayweather did good. I definitely, give him one of these because he's, I don't know. I'd rather see him like when you lose and then come like the super comeback, like Rocky.
I don't know Rocky.
You never seen Rocky?
No.
Sylvester Stallone?
Did you just?
I never seen Rocky.
Yes.
I've seen Coming to America, Boys in the
You saw
Hood,
who?
Color Purple. I'm black. I like to see Rocky.
There's black people in Rocky.
I don't care. That's not like on the black people list.
He was in Philly.
What does that mean?
I mean, congrats to Mayweather.
That's
I mean, I do give McGregor kudos for lasting 10 rounds.
I mean, he did get 75 mil, right?
What?
I mean, I last 10
McGregor did.
Yeah,
Listen,
I mean, I stayed there for 75 mil.
That was because he lasted that long?
Yeah.
He got how much money?
75 million.
He can beat the hell out of me for 75 million.
I think it was a stunt because now his net worth goes up, so now he can ask for more when he fights other people when he goes back to MMA. So that was a genius business move.
Listen, I want to drop in the word for today. The word for the day is the word damn. Not just damn. D-A-Y-U-M. All together. Let's
That's
please
your
say it.
favorite word.
Damn! And that's what I have to say
That's your
about
favorite word.
this situation concerning how much money he just made. Do you realize I actually changed lives? And people actually find their purpose and their destiny through my books and all this kind of stuff. And he gets to beat the hell out of somebody. And how much did he actually take home?
I believe it was like 100 million. You guys said that? A big large amount.
Yeah, he was supposed to be making $30 million an hour.
$30 million an hour.
Yeah. So at $30 million an hour, I mean, I think it's just ridiculous. I'm happy.
Oh, 300 million.
Okay.
350 mil plus.
Us.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like 100 million. That he got
Jermaine, are you
his
sure?
His first
It
fight.
was 350.
It was 300 at least.
At least 300.
At least.
Oh, wow.
Wow! The things I would do for $300 million.
What would you do?
Top
He
three
does that for
movies
free.
you ever
Huh?
What?
I
He
would.
said worship.
Oh. For $300 million, I would run down the street butt booty naked.
Sir, I would run down the street butt booty naked for $1 million.
Right.
Matter of fact, I would run down the street butt booty naked for $100,000. So long as I can pay my fine for indecent exposure, you know what I mean? And I bet the neighbors would give me a couple of tips. That ain't nothing.
For $300 million, I will let you cut off one of my fingers.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
You can get a whole new.
I would be an
If
ambulance.
I have $300 million, you can make me a finger that work like I want it to work. Like I don't.
But you can still figure it out, like how to pick up your phone. You know, if you keep your thumb, they got all 4 of these other ones.
Then you get a
I
platter.
just need the thumb, yeah.
Park on close.
Then I can park. Yeah, you can park in the front at the mall, and I be like, I got $300 million.
My each just stand up and say she'll run behind me for $30K.
That's nasty.
Oh my God! Well, I do think it's amazing, though. I'm really hopeful as we get ready to go to Vegas and start a campus out there that somehow
You really think
there's
that this
going to be
man
a
on that
connection
picture-
between me and Mayweather. If anybody knows Mayweather, let him know I am a prophet, and I do have a word for him that will revolutionize his life, and we can be friends, and we can hang out at the club, and all of that, and it'll be great.
Okay, y'all. What else happened in real news? Real raw news this week. The VMAs.
The VMAs.
Now, who actually watched them?
I saw highlights.
I watched some highlights. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was busy leading people. Into
No, what is it?
heaven.
That's Music Awards.
It's the video.
Video Music Awards. I didn't even know they still made video music.
That's what I was saying. They didn't have any videos on MTV.
Music videos.
Man, the good old days when BET had like 106 in Park and
Where do they play music videos now?
Exactly. On YouTube.
like you were. Yeah.
Well, they
No, you gotta like it's like a
Yeah,
small
yeah,
window.
Somebody said it was lame this year.
What was lame about it? Did any of our followers watch it?
I heard Kendrick killed it. He was the first one.
Yo, MTV Raps.
Uncle Kendrick.
All right, now we got a couple of looks from the VMAs this week.
Yeah, we had
Top
some people.
looks.
Some people had some looks. Let's check it out. Let's see what the producers have for us, and we got to talk about this and see what our opinion is. I'm gonna let my inner.
Somebody said Kendrick did kill. Oh, we said Kendrick did kill.
Ooh.
Somebody said no, I'm.
Oh, that's a little girl from
to
Blackish.
survive.
Yara.
Oh, she's cute.
Yeah, she's trying to get grown. How old is she?
She just
She
graduated
just
from high school.
graduated. She's been 18.
Just graduated from high
She's
school.
going to Harvard.
Your mama
She's
just
not too
said.
young for you, Reverend.
Yes, she is.
She got money.
Yeah.
You can add her
She on
bank
two
account to
shows.
her age, and then she'll be too old for you.
Too old? Never too old.
Ah!
Never too old.
Okay, you never too old. Okay, I'll come back to that later. But so y'all.
I'm saying you like it with her though.
What is that on her shoulder?
Put it on a wheel. Put it on.
What are we talking about? What is that on her shoulder?
Is that like an emperor's?
It's like a tassel.
Like an applique.
That's ugly.
No, that's cute.
Oh.
But look how she's covered.
And I like that. Yeah, I like that she looks like very conservative.
She's not gonna make no money being conservative. She should have put her breast out or something.
What is going on?
She can't.
She has enough. She has her own TV show.
Right.
She has her own stuff. She does not have to put her breath out. That's disrespectful.
No, she shouldn't do that. I was just playing. You're right.
Oh my god, that's awful. Okay, what else do we have?
Let's see.
See somebody I can recognize.
You don't recognize her?
No.
You don't watch Blackish?
Never heard of it.
I'm sorry.
Whoa, wait, you've never heard of Blackish?
Like I never heard of it. Like I can see if you didn't watch it. You ain't
Right, like that's okay if you didn't watch it, but
Number one comedy for like the past
No.
Really?
2.5 years.
how do you wear Dwayne glasses and never seen Blackish?
What is that? That's.
Hola!
Hey, but you gotta heard about Rocky. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right, because at least more people have seen Blackish than have seen Rocky, because it's Blackish.
Okay, so I gotta use the word of the day. Damn, what does he have on? I mean, he just looks
Really?
a mess.
Is that him?
You got
Who is that?
That's Kendrick.
Wow, you don't know who
He
Kendrick
looks
is?
a hot
Did he say
behind
it?
mess.
Did we talk about how he has on Cortez because he just got that Nike contract?
I was just about to talk about those shoes.
But why is his pants? I understand like being like doing the European kind of look with your pants. Greg McNair did it last night, but this right here, I don't know what this guy is doing.
Cortez with the suit.
I mean, he
should've
just
went
looks
all white.
regular.
I think he should have went
Yeah.
all white button now.
Yeah,
Right, like I agree, he looks like somebody's uncle. He just
he-
looks like regular.
he can borrow my stylist for the night.
Listen,
One uncle.
the car ain't rolling you out.
I mean.
I think he could have did that.
Yeah, I think that's a no.
Who else we got? Oh, I hope you got a picture of my girl. No, that ain't her. Who in the heck is
That's
that?
Kesha. She's a.
Queen Elizabeth.
I don't know who
Oh.
that
Normally she looks really like.
What does she
looks
do?
like trash.
She sings.
How song?
is.
She's
She
a
sings
pop singer.
good.
Yep.
Good.
I don't know
What
about
does she
that.
sing?
Yeah, I agree, Liz. She looks very wild, like
And she said to lean in.
I was trying to figure out what that is.
Exactly,
yeah.
like a wedding cake.
And then the
Like that.
black at the top is like why?
Next.
Yeah, that's a no. No on the tiered layers.
But she does look better. That would give her that though.
Better than how she normally looks.
Yes.
That's Amber Rose.
Yeah.
Oh, that's our producer.
That's Amber Rose?
Yes, she has.
Oh, she got hair.
What happened? Why is she wearing a wig?
Because she likes to have fun. She
But why
does
does it
not.
look like her wig is like way far back? Like her
Yeah, you bald headed. That's what you
Because
think
you don't have
about.
nothing to grab onto.
Is it like a lace?
So like normally you need the braid across the front so you can like have that front comb on something. But her front comb is probably sliding.
Is that
Yeah,
like
that's
a
her
lace?
man. What's that?
She's
Young
not
Savage?
bald, but that hair is a mess.
They look nice though.
On her Instagram, she said that she was gonna. She said she was gonna lay that on him as soon as they got home.
Like that.
Oh, lady. Oh, no. Oh, man.
21 Savage, all white.
No edges.
Oh yeah, 21
He's a rapper.
21 Savage.
Somebody said that's not a lace. No.
Is that underwear? What are you seeing? What am I seeing under?
No, there's no underwear.
No, she's naked underneath. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so she has some strips over her titties.
No, she's definitely naked
Is
underneath.
that a nipple? Is that a nipple?
I don't know. Are you drilling?
Nah, I ain't drooling. Somebody said it's Velcro.
Oh, her wig.
Oh, on her head.
Is that Lil Mama?
No, that's
Yeah.
Bow Wow in a dress.
She,
What is it?
she was,
She does. Little Mama look just like Bow Wow.
she been stepping her game up.
They could get it. They should take pictures in front of fake Jackson.
What is that, like a bird cage?
She said she knows why the cage bird sings.
Wait, her new name isn't it like Nateri or something like that?
Yeah, her real name.
She has an alter ego.
Yeah, she has a new name when she acts. It's Nateri.
No, that's her real name.
Oh, but she's using it now.
Yeah.
She's not using
Oh.
Little Mama no more.
Oh, she's not Little Mama.
Mm-mm.
Is she? Does she matter?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. What does she do?
She's making a comeback. She's in a movie with Trump.
Wait, I just saw the thing in her hand. What the hell?
said
What is going on?
Oh, Les
Yeah.
Gross. She's in a movie
Yes,
with
it's
Yes.
called My
Yes.
Love Kills. It
Yeah.
actually airs tonight, and it was actually I was watching.
It's
30
directed
minutes
by
of it.
a girl from she's a Christian. Tasha.
Smith, right?
Tasha
Yes,
Smith.
it's based on
True stories.
Strippers killed these men.
Man, yeah, because she was in love.
Strippers killed some men?
Yeah, because she was in love with her pimp, and her pimp, you know, made
Who's
her do
Les
some
Gross?
things.
Somebody said she did good.
Lance Gross is a pimp?
Yeah, he was with the movie.
Lance Gross takes amazing pictures. Have you seen his photography?
Who is
He's
Lance
amazing.
Ross?
Lance Gross.
He was up on those Tyler Perry show.
I am saved. Now ask me some scriptures, something about the Bible. We getting shocked that I don't know these people in pop culture. I'm holy.
Show me somebody else. I hope you got my girl in there. That ain't her.
No.
I already know enough actors.
Who is this?
Lil Yachty.
Don't matter.
Who?
Lil Yachty?
What is Lil Lottie?
Who?
He's a rapper.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Lil Yachty.
What is
Like
that?
Lil Yachty.
Yachty.
Lil Yachty.
Lil Yachty.
Lil
What's his most
Yachty.
popular song?
Broccoli.
Oh, Broccoli.
How'd it go?
It's
He was like one of the kids' classics.
Okay, I'm done with
On the
that.
first day of school, when your mama bought your school uniforms at the end of the year because they was on sale.
That's
And
my
she said
girl.
you still was gonna wear them in September.
That's
Oh, is that
Cardi.
Cardi B?
That's Cardi B.
Hey.
She at the top of the charts right now.
Man.
Come on.
I have yet
For
to
what?
hear the
Red, she got a song called
Bodak.
Yellow Bodak.
Yellow what?
Bodak?
Yellow Bodak.
Yellow Bodak.
Yep. So, but she was a reality
What
TV
is Yellow
show.
Bodak?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's-
Anybody know what Yellow Bodak is?
I don't know, but she looks amazing.
Yellow Bodak?
She's very
Bodak yellow?
She looks great.
The Bodak. Yeah.
Bodak?
Push open her mouth.
Now does she
But she
normally
can
look like that?
No.
No.
She used to be a
Usually
stripper.
it's it's titties out also.
Yeah.
She used to be a stripper. And
She's a
Cute.
stripper. Then she
she's
turned.
pretty.
She started dating rappers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. She flipped that money into a career.
she was smart with her money.
She was she was on a reality TV show.
Love and hip hop.
What's that?
Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, that's her.
She had
She's
like
like,
crooked teeth.
It's Cardi B.
That was good.
Wow. You should have turned your camera around to yourself when you did that. That was good. That was strong.
Yes,
That was really
Show me who else we have today from the VMAs, please.
I got one for you.
Her voice is awful.
It's awful.
Oh god.
She making millions with her ugly voice.
She just bought a.
That's
It's
who I've
Nicki
been
Back.
waiting for.
What is that?
My girl, Nikki.
Oh, that's
She
what
looks
that
so
is?
different.
Nikki.
She went back to her
Why her
to
butt
her
looks so big?
her Barbie pink.
Nikki, from groceries to glory. Those who were watching my Facebook Live this past week, there was a bit of controversy concerning Nicki Minaj and Tasha Cobb doing the song. I really want to know what's your honest opinion, Jasmine, about
About the collab.
collaboration.
I think it's amazing. Honestly, I
Oh.
think.
No, that's right. No.
I think it's good that she actually brought, some secular people onto the record. I know Tasha Cobb is actually pastoring a lot of these artists. So I think it's really good that she did it. I don't think it's a bad thing.
What you think? Recently,
Me?
yeah.
I'm not too fond of the move. Only
Why?
because she's not in the
Okay,
transition.
wait a minute. You just gonna say something to the people you disagree with? You can ask her why. Anyway, go ahead, Sade. I'm on your side.
I don't think it was a good look only because she's not in a transition. Like, you don't see her trying to live right.
How you know?
How do you know though?
She
From what we see.
But you don't know.
What?
She
She's
could have
supposed
been
to
doing.
take all her
She could have
music
been on.
down?
She could have been doing 10
No.
guys and now
Like,
she's
for
doing
example,
5.
like look at Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Like, from what
He's
we
attempting.
see, he's like right. He's making an attempt. He's made several attempts. Like, he'll just fall off the face of the earth, go to church,
Yeah.
get himself together. Like,
But
from my
maybe she
understanding,
was
she's
doing
not
10
doing
guys and now she's just doing 5.
But after this song, what is she gonna do? She gonna go right back to shaking and twerking and
Right,
talking
because
about
you have
taking
a
money.
public responsibility. So if she has that type of reputation, she has a public responsibility as a Christian. So you're supposed to go and make disciples. That means she would have to be making some type of public declaration more than just being on Tasha Cobb's song. To me, Tasha Cobb looks like she is money hungry and she wanted to put somebody on there that she knew was going to crack, bring attention to herself, controversy, and make money.
Boost her sales.
Which is fine if it's a business move, but when we're
Right.
talking about ministry, I don't think that the two can cross. There's a bunch of stuff that I could do that would be a good business move, but would not be smart ministry wise.
But is that taking, I don't know if that's taking away from her ministry. I'm not trying to say that Nicki Minaj is a mature Christian.
I don't think it's taken away from her ministry, but I think it's her sharing her platform with somebody who clearly is not even attempting to live like one verse of the Bible.
Right. That's what I see.
Guys,
She could perhaps be tithing. She could definitely maybe be living that out.
I don't know that it's so it's clear cut. And my thing is just my reason for even coming out and talking about it is because I felt like people were judging her salvation. I get what people are saying
Yeah,
about
and
this
then you
shit.
also knew that it was going to be viral for you.
Don't be a hater because you've never had a video that had 14,000 views plus. But let me tell you what some of the people are
No,
saying.
I'm not working on my views. I actually am working on citations. So my dissertation is getting close to 700 citations. So I'm not working on views. I'm working on citations.
We don't even know what citation mean in the world.
Exactly.
But so what I'm saying
Exactly.
is, but we
So
understand.
just know I'm working on
But
that.
what we do
Just know-
understand,
just know
what
that.
we do understand is views, and we understand that that video had 14,000 views. And this is what
Amen.
somebody said. Some lady named Tisma Chamblay said, "I can understand if Nikki had fruit to back up maybe getting saved, but there is no fruit. Why would a seasoned woman of God, Tasha Cobbs, even allow that? This is a reproach."
But is she seasoned?
It's who seasoned?
Tasha Cobbs.
Tasha Cobb's got Loris all over her. That girl is seasoned. Cayenne pepper too. The black crack pepper. Yeah, she's
Or do
seasoned.
we say people are seasoned because they've been in the game a long time? But I feel like seasoned should also come with some amount of fruit. So I'm not just going to give her seasoned because she's been around for a
I
long
have a
time.
question. People are saying a lot about Tasha and Nikki, but I hear a lot about Shirley and Snoop.
What? I didn't know about that.
That's his new album?
No, Shirley Caesar.
No,
And
Her new
Snoop.
album or his?
He's doing a gospel album right now. But I hear a lot
Is
of
it Snoop?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's your fruit.
maybe there you go. Since he's been with Martha, you know,
with Martha.
Stewart.
Stewart.
They have a show together.
Not married.
Oh, the cooking.
Oh, what's she saying?
I'm saying.
Wait, so Shirley, Caesar, and Snoop did a song together?
I don't know. This
Yes.
is what Apostle. This is
Oh,
what I'm saying.
Snoop is they started performing the whole song together, the potatoes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
Is that a real song though?
Yeah, he did. He performed it on BET.
I mean,
Yeah, but I thought that was
Apostle
like a joke.
Huh?
It was not a joke.
Oh, somebody said Mary, David Bam. No, I definitely know there's a lot of collaborations out there.
Well, how about when Mary
That Queen.
collabo with Queen? That thing took me back, I ain't gonna lie.
Well, here's the thing. I don't care who Mary collabs with because Mary
Don't do this.
dresses
Don't do
worse
this.
than,
Don't do this.
to me, the Hoochie Mama's on baseline.
Don't do that.
So I don't care who Mary
Stop.
collabs with.
Stop it.
As a matter of fact, to me, Tasha Cobbs collabing with Nicki Minaj would be
Stop.
like Tasha Cobbs collabing with Mary. Look at the way they dress.
Did you really just do that?
What's the difference? That pink thing, I swear I seen Erica in something like that.
I'm not participating.
It was
Y'all
real.
never seen Erica?
Erica, if you're watching,
I'm
with
sure y'all next
Erica,
week.
if you're watching, I'm not
I'ma show
putting
y'all
that as
next
my
week.
wife, and I still love y'all. Tina, hey girl, it's all good. Okay, it's all love. Nothing to say about that.
I'm just saying, I don't think
Not
that we
involving
can just
myself.
put all Christian artists in the same bill, and I don't think that we can put all secular artists in the same bill. I think there's more mixture than what we realize from the outside. Now, from the outside, it looks like Nicki Minaj has bad reputation, and Tasha Cobbs has good reputation. However, one of the things my grandma always taught me was that birds of a feather flock together. And so while we think that Tasha is all somewhere on some level and Nicki is all somewhere on some level, if they were able to collab, they probably are closer levels than what we thought.
And I emphatically disagree. I think that it was an opportunity.
That's because he want to be Mayweather's spiritual daddy, y'all. That's why.
I do want to be Mayweather's spiritual daddy. I'm not quiet about that. I really do. And son, I will serve you. You understand? And I will carry your bags as you go up to the stage and do what you do. And I pray for you, give your prophetic words every day.
Every day?
Every day you can call me for a prophetic word. You just call me in the morning. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, son. It's going to be a great day today, okay?
The number for text to give is 909 992 0999.
All right, call me in the morning here. But no, it's interesting.
I mean, the one thing I do agree with you about is that people should not be judging Tasha. I definitely agree with that. Because I just feel like it's inappropriate. I don't feel like it's advancing the kingdom at all. So if you didn't like it, don't listen to the song, don't buy it, whatever. I don't feel that we should be making public declarations and judging her and stuff like that. It does look a certain way, but you never really know. You know, if it was me personally, I would not have made that move, but.
And if it was me personally and the opportunity was there, I would have.
Amen.
So just to put that out there, and Mickey, again, if you're out there and her people know, we can do a Send the Rain remix.
Wow.
Listen.
Father, she'll make it rain.
I
Now we can make a music video if you get Nicki on there. Now that'd be a music video. You get the saints to download it then.
I bet you they was my song
we ain't
going.
got that many
My
downloads
song is
yet.
gonna go to the world.
Listen, if you get her on there, it's be downloads.
To the world, the club.
Yeah. Well, y'all get off my set. And so we're so amped to be back. Hey, I want you to do me a favor. Invite your followers. Share on Facebook and Twitter. You still sitting there, huh?
You want me to go right now?
Yeah. And so we are so amped that you are that y'all are here today.
Yes. So our theme today is damned if you do, damned if you don't. Our whole theme for our fall season of Too Real, Too Raw is life coaching. And so we feel that there are a lot of people out there who call themselves life coaches, call themselves mentors, things like that. But we're going to be tackling some topics on our show to really help you get your life. And so our first topic that we'll be coaching on this week is people pleasing. I think that it is definitely a thing. And even if you don't call it that, I think that a lot more people deal with it, struggle with it than not. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Our idea behind that is that you will never be able to make everybody happy. So when you think about the idea of trying to work to make people happy, you will be damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can make a decision today. Half the people are going to be happy with you, half the people are going to be upset with you. And so the first thing of dealing with this spirit of people pleasing is to realize and come to the resolve that you will never be able to make 100% of people happy with you.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you will exhaust yourself trying to do it on a regular basis. You've got to realize that, hey, people are going to have their opinions. They're going to say what they want to say. And when you may make one person happy, then there'll be somebody else in your life that'll now be upset about you. And especially if you're going to be a mover and shaker and you're going to be a part of changing the culture in and around you and changing lives around you, they're going to always, trust me, always have something to say about what you do.
Yeah, I was watching even the whole thing with Houston. I'm like, and people had different things to say about like Joel Osteen opening his church or not opening his church.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's just crazy. Not opening his church to to the victims or to the people that were suffering as a result of what was happening in the area. And it's like, golly, like we really, as if he's not trying to take care of his family, as if he's not worried about his church, but everybody has something to say about him not opening his doors. But had he opened his doors and the lower level of his church flooded, which it now has, then he would have been getting a bad rap for putting people in there
Why didn't you know
and it
what to
getting
say?
flooded.
Right.
And then they would make a big deal like, well, he wasn't there, so he knew. Like, it's like you can never make people happy. And so kind of just in that vein, you have to come to a resolve. Once you come to a resolve, you will no longer become so disappointed when certain people are unhappy with you. You realize that's just part of life.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the other things that people have to really focus on is seeking God's approval. And that goes on a journey of making sure that you realize that God, his approval, you find what his heart is for you, what his mind is for you, and lock yourself into that. What does he say about your life? And it's like when you begin to go on a search for that and you seek that out, then constantly on a daily basis, you'll say, you know what? It doesn't really matter what they think or that person thinks. As long as I'm finding out what his will and his plan is for me and I'm approved with him. And the thing about walking in his approval or seeking his approval, what you'll locate and what you'll find out is that for him, he's just looking for you to be sons and he's looking for you to be daughters. He's not looking for you to try to act out a certain thing. So for God, it's not about his approval or disapproval of your actions. For many people around the world, it's like, if you don't do what I want you to do, then I'm done with you or I'm finished with you. But for him, it's about you being positioned in that idea of who you are in him, that you're my son and daughter no matter what.
Yeah, and a lot of times once you kind of get into this whole thing of, well, they didn't congratulate me, they didn't recognize me, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. You never really know what people are going through at the same time as you having your victories or at the same time as you are accomplishing things, and you would think a certain way. But God is consistent. People are inconsistent.
Wow.
So today, somebody may coach you to go back to school.
Right.
That may be the same person that won't watch your kids while you go to class and don't attend your graduation when you finish.
Right.
And so you cannot really build your life on people because they are inconsistent. They are shaky. Even your most trusted people will go through their own things that may cause their interaction with you to be different. And so you can't build your life on anything outside of God's approval. I'm not saying that you don't need people to root you on. I'm not saying that you don't need people to kind of encourage you as you go. But once you have God's approval and that's your consistent thing, all those compliments, all those affirmations that you get from other people become complimentary, and they do not become your main thing. And so they're supplements, they're extra. You can take it or you can leave it.
Absolutely. I think one of the other things is you got to do what makes you happy. What makes you happy? What actually brings that kind of a joy, fulfillment in your life? Because if you live life through other people's ideas, if you live life through what other people are saying, you're going to miss out on that happiness. And once you finish doing whatever they think you ought to do, it's gone. You don't have that place where you feel like I'm doing the thing that I'm supposed to do and I'm going the place I'm supposed to go. And so you've got to do what makes you happy.
Yeah, and I mean, some people, might argue like, oh, well, what if sin makes me happy? Well, great. If sin makes you happy, then sin. If that really makes you happy,
Did you just say
then
that?
sin. Then be a sinner. Because if you are only saved and not sinning for other people, you will begin to resent it.
Wow.
You will feel like people have taken something from you, have stolen something from you, and then you put them on the hook for the reason why you are unhappy. So bottom line, once you get that affirmation from God, that should be what makes you want to live right. And so then what it turns into is you doing what makes you happy becomes aligned with God, becomes aligned with what God wants for you. But if you're doing something and you are unhappy doing it, stop doing it. Because all you're doing is building a platform for resentment. And so you begin to resent the people that you think you're making happy by making yourself unhappy.
Absolutely.
And so you're looking for people to be pleased with you, and I mean, honestly, it's just temporary.
It's very, very temporary. And I think at the end of the day, you'll realize that you know what, you got to resolve that everyone will not like you. I had a problem where I wanted everybody to like me, to like everything about me. And I guess I didn't really realize it until we were living in Oklahoma at the time. And we were in the car, I remember driving down the main street there in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you begin to talk to me. You say, you know what, you have a problem. You want everybody to like you. And it wasn't to that, well, I was angry with you then, but later I really realized that I had this thing in me that if you didn't like me, I worked very hard to try to get you to like me. I would say, well, I'm a great guy. I'm charismatic. I'm nice. I'm handsome. Why don't you like me? Maybe if I gave you X, Y, and Z, you would like me. Or maybe if I changed this about me, you would like me. And so I had to come to a place where I understood that it didn't matter how hard I worked and how much I did, that the reality is that everybody simply is just not going to like me.
Yeah, and then you start looking crazy because you're doing this over here for your mom, you're doing this over here for your man,
right.
You're doing this over here for your pastor, you're doing this over here, and you're not true to yourself in any way. If you walk the middle road and become true to yourself, people begin to appreciate you for who you are and what you actually bring to the table, rather than you living out a life and exhibiting these different things because of the different people that you're connected with and trying to make them happy. You will never feel fulfilled in going with that people pleasing. And it's funny because now you have like maybe traditional people pleasing,
yeah.
And I'm like, I could care less whether people like me or not, so it didn't really bother me. But I realized here more recently, because one of the things like pastoring, I mean, that is a lesson.
Is it a lesson?
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You cannot make these people happy.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not one to be talking about church people, but I'm talking about church people that I know that go to church. You cannot make them happy.
Yeah.
They go to one church, they like the pastor is not transparent enough. They come over here, we too transparent. Mean, damn. Can't make them happy.
Word of the day.
Nothing. We don't talk about offering enough, talk about offering too much. Damn. Can't make them happy. We do too much fellowship, not enough fellowship. Damn. You want to meet with me, but you don't want to come to my Connects group where I pour my soul every single week. Damn. I mean, can't make them happy. So this week I was in that situation, and I'm like, listen, if one more person, I mean, just come for me like they could do my job. And I'm looking like, you telling me how to pastor my church, how to do my job, and I said like this, you can't pastor a colony of flies.
Not a colony of flies.
Not a colony of flies. You couldn't get them flies in formation. You couldn't get them flies to sit on that sticky strip. Listen. Couldn't get them on a sticky strip. But you got all these ideas how to tell me how to do my job. So I realized though, it wasn't people pleasing in the traditional sense though.
Wow.
Because I didn't want them to like me. It is, I want them to understand.
Wow, let's talk about that.
So it's like a form of people pleasing. Because it's not that I want them to like me, but I always want to like get my point across. Or like get them to like understand. But if I could just like explain it to them.
Yeah.
You know, not to get them to like me, but if I could just like explain it to them and like, you know, get them to like understand. And like even if we can't agree, I just want to like get them to understand where I'm coming from. And I was in that situation. I got really upset about a conversation that I had with somebody. And after I had that conversation with that person back and forth on text, I told him, I'm like, I don't know why I'm so upset because I don't really want this person to like me. So why am I so upset that they don't? And I realized it was that I wanted that person to understand me. And when I realized how dysfunctional that was, that I was begging and seeking for this person to understand me when they had told me outright how much they just refused. I had to get deliverance right there in that moment. I had to get deliverance right there in that moment.
Yeah.
And I realized that at this point, it is useless to further explain myself
Yeah.
to this person. Why? Because that is unhealthy for me to keep explaining
So
over
good.
and over myself when
Yeah.
I already have laid it out. And so for some of us, it's not that you want people to like you, but you just want people to understand you.
Yeah.
And it's different because I thought I was better than him because he just wants people to like him.
You often think you're better than me, but that's another thing.
Well, I am in a lot of areas,
Not
but
true. Yeah, some. Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
right.
was
Like
like-
2. You're right.
no, a lot.
Okay.
Come on, I could make a list.
4,
You want a list?
5,
Huh?
6,
Come on. Keep counting, man. I got. Come on. What'd you say?
8,
You said 7, 8,
8.5.
8.5. Okay. What? Oh, I can't really listen to that.
Girl, go and finish this.
And that's my form of people pleasing, and that's my truth. And so you find yourself going crazy trying to not just make people like you in the people pleasing sense, but going crazy trying to get people to understand you, to just feel where you're coming from, to just hear you out and hear what you're saying. And it's not that it's always bad, but it's when it makes you crazy. When it comes with anxiety, when it comes with you acting out of character,
Yeah.
then that's where it falls into dysfunction.
Wow. So I think at the end of the day, you got to make a decision that you simply will not live out your life for anyone else, but simply what you feel like you were supposed to do and what God's plan is for you in your life. And you got to make that decision that you're going to move forward. You're going to take steps forward into that space for you. Damned if you do. Damned if you don't. Just
Either
go
way.
on and focus in on your grind and forget about trying to please these jokers. It don't work.
It doesn't. But, there is a such thing as heaven's reward.
That's good.
There is a such thing as heaven's affirmation.
Good.
And once you have that and you're totally walking in that and you become true to like your own identity, who you are honest, you are growing, you
Yeah.
are progressing. It brings you such joy and happiness that you wouldn't even get from the people that are around you that you're trying to please.
Yeah. Cut it out here and start walking in your purpose and your destiny.
So that's your coaching session this week.
That was good. That was
So
a
I
good
was
coaching
there.
session. That was our first one, man.
Listen,
Y'all have been cutting in
that's
this
some
doggone
good
studio.
So we want you to think
Yes.
about that this week. Why do you do the things that you do?
Yeah.
Is it because it really is connected to your purpose? Is it
Yeah.
because it really brings you joy? Or is it just to make other people happy,
Yeah.
just to make other people understand
Yeah.
and get them on your side? You got to cut that out.
Yeah.
And you might not cut it all out this week, but I want you to knock one person off your list every week that you were just trying to
I'm
live
not going
to
to try to please you, not another day. I want you to do me a favor, invite your followers, share on Facebook and Twitter, and let everybody know that the Dumases are on at Too Real, Too Raw, the show is here. And so we're excited to be back and in the house. I think it's time for your segment. Yeah, we're going to get some music for this.
Come on! So, half the time, I don't know what my wise women segment is until,
I'm saying,
until I
don't
get
know
super
either.
close. But, my wise women segment for this week, like I said, we are in the middle of moving. And so, in that process of moving, I haven't had access to everything I normally have access to,
Okay.
just because I packed probably 60% of my stuff about 3 weeks ago, and we still have kind of been living, reopening boxes and stuff like that. So today, I tried my best, okay? I really did. So at least I ended up with a left foot and a right foot, and so for that I was proud. But they didn't match. And so when the Saints came over to help us pack, they were like, you got on two different shoes. They were trying to help me out. And then when I got ready to come for the show, we changed clothes into what we could find conveniently. My dread lady had a hysterectomy,
Jesus,
and so she has been booked, and so I have not gotten my dreads retwisted in 7 weeks now.
Yes.
And I I couldn't find my BB cream, and I couldn't find my lip gloss.
You know how I feel
And
about
you
lip
know
gloss.
how Apostle feels about them naked lips with no gloss. He want them glossed up. You know, like Juanita Bynum was talking about them glossed up legs. He want them glossed up. So I say all that to say that wise women create their own sexy. Wise women define what is attractive for themselves.
Okay.
Wise women are not defined by what the people around them think is presentable or approachable or attractive.
Wow.
It is exhausting to keep up with the trends. It is exhausting to keep up with the weight, the weight requirements, because at one point it's in to be skinny, then there's like a thick fit movement, then there's a big girl. You're not quite there, ma'am. You're not quite thick fit. You need a little more.
What's your name?
And she need a little more squeezy, a little more lemon squeezy. To be in the thick fit, and then you got the whole like big girl, sexy too, and so it's kind of just like if you become pulled into those different things, those different rules of having to look this certain way for certain things, it just becomes exhausting. And wise women understand that there's nothing wrong with putting on makeup, there's nothing wrong with dressing up, but it does not mean that you look any better when you do that than when you just roll over and you just walk 100% in yourself. Whatever it looks like, whatever your hair looks like, whatever your face looks like, whatever your blemishes look like, whatever your body type is at the time, because it is constantly changing. It is wise to be happy with exactly who you are and exactly what you look like. You should be able to look in the mirror and like what you see, no matter whether your face is beat or not, ashy lips or not. Not saying you can't have a preference, but you create what sexy is. And it is not defined even by your mate. It's not defined even by your partner. His preference is gloss, but that's his preference. That's not defining sexy for me. I have defined sexy, and I am sexy.
You better be sexy.
Listen.
Come on, man.
Listen. I make my own.
gloss and all.
Listen. Hey, dreads 7 weeks old.
Listen.
7 weeks old and everything else. But I feel like people just like work so hard. And I don't think it's anything wrong. You should be healthy. You should take care of your skin. You should take care of your hair. But when you don't, it should not mean that you don't like the way that you look. It should not mean that you do not feel sexy. It should not mean that you're not happy with what you're presenting, because what you're presenting can be dressed up, it can be dressed down, but it should not change on the inside who you are.
I totally agree, and I think when you have that kind of confidence as a woman, that
Come on.
itself is sexy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so sit over with these dry lips. I'm just telling you, it's
Listen.
just sexy.
Listen. I was gonna say something, I ain't gonna fool with you. Listen, talking about these dry lips.
Hey, listen, I want you to invite your friends,
You're
invite your followers, and share on Facebook and Twitter. And we're coming into, most people's highlight of the show.
I'm not gonna do this with you. Go on and share with y'all people so these people can call and get their prophetic words, because they don't talk to God for themselves, so they might as well hear God through you. Okay, come on, here we go. Call 909-545-6526.
909-545-6526.
Oh, you gonna take your arm from around the
Yeah, I gotta get focused.
Whoa!
So it's important.
Oh, I thought you were turned on by these dry lips, huh? By these dry lips
I'm
and
trying
wide
to get
lips.
focused.
Huh?
So
All right, make you want to take a sip.
I
Listen,
cannot.
suck it like a biscuit, eat it like a real.
So I
I'm
want
just
you to
saying.
invite your followers, share on Facebook and Twitter. We are in the building, and we're going to be prophesying. So that's found in the Bible in 1 Corinthians chapter number 14. Prophecy comes to edify, that means build you up. Prophecy comes to exhort, means to push you into the purpose God has set for you. And prophecy comes to comfort you, to help you through hard seasons, and we're going to share with you the heart of God for your life. So we want you to call in to the number 909-545-6526, and let's see what God has to say to your life. I just got a message from a lady 2 days ago who said that I ministered a word to her about her car that the Lord was going to open up to her, and she said she got that car just a couple of weeks ago, and she wanted to let me know that through this year on the 2 Real 2 Raw show that she received some serious breakthrough in her life. It's not about cars.
Prophecy fulfilled.
It's not about cars, but it's about making sure that people realize that God is concerned about them and He's thinking about their life. Again, the number is, here we go. We got a caller.
We got a caller.
Hi, caller, your name and where you're calling from. Could you repeat that for me?
Priscilla from Atlanta.
Priscilla from Atlanta.
Priscilla from Atlanta. Thank you so much for calling in today. So here's the word of the Lord for you. The Lord is saying that, hey, I'm going to begin to stir the waters in your life, and I'm going to cause for the waters in your life to not only be stirred, but they're about to overflow into your city. And God says that even this utterance on the inside of you, the strength to be able to speak freedom, the strength to be able to speak deliverance, the strength to be able to release His prophetic utterance, there is coming a heightened level of activity concerning that in and around you. I saw the Lord saying that I heard the Lord say He was going to begin to open up something. It's like 3 levels of connections I saw. I saw the Lord opening something at another level of connectivity in the house that you were planted. Secondarily, I saw the Lord doing something in the workplace for you. And then I saw the Lord opening up something in your family life. There was 3 levels of fresh connectivity and fresh breakthrough that the Lord is releasing to you. And I feel like the Lord is saying that if you set your eyes forward and do not be moved by the distractions and even the voice of the enemy and even naysayers and gainsayers that would speak against what God's plan is for your life, for He is serious about this season. And the Lord says, well done, daughter, to be obedient to me. There was something the Lord asked of you to do that was a serious test of faith and test of breakthrough, and you acquiesced to Him, you said yes to Him, you moved into that direction, and it was strong for you. It was a very strong step of faith. And so the Lord says, well done, daughter, and you're about to see the fruits of your labor being manifested in your life. You received that tonight?
Yes, thank you so much.
Now, for people that are listening, real quickly, did any of that connect with you tonight? You felt like it was accurate for your life?
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. But thanks for calling in.
I mean, damn, I thought she was going to say more than
Really?
that.
Hi, caller. Your name and where you're calling from.
Catherine from California.
Your first name again?
Catherine.
Kathleen, is that right?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Okay, thank you so much. So here's what I feel like the Lord is saying. New. I know that can sound very cliche-ish, but everything about you is really bringing you into a new season. There's a new set of eyes the Lord gave you. Seemed like the beginning of this year, where you begin to see things at another perspective and another level. And so the Lord says that I have created this new opening for you, and that I want you to begin to walk in the new steps. And then I heard God say, do not allow for old people from old season to cause for you to waver or to be disconnected from the new thing. And so I saw God doing something, having something with creativity that He was going to birth forth out of you. And so I saw something about the month of October. And in the month of October, God says that I'm going to cause for there to be a well that's going to spring up. And this is be a well of creativity that's going to bring forth not only fulfillment in your life, but I heard the Lord say it would bring through even another source of income for you. And so the Lord says that He's breaking off of you every bit of timidity that may be left on your life. Hallelujah. But He's going to now begin to cause for a fresh boldness to come on you. And you're going to begin to walk in that boldness, and you're going to see the power of God release in and around every single thing that you touch. And I heard God say this lastly. He is serious about your family. And I don't know who you are, but I'm going to tell you this. Your family has come up before the Lord. And the Lord began to tell me in December, expect a Christmas gift. Because at around that time, you're going to see at least 7 of your family members, specifically it seems like women, who are going to be walking in their destiny and their purpose. And the Lord said, you will not be denied what I have promised you. You receive that?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. God bless you.
You was scared to ask that time, are you?
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Again, the number is 545-6526. 909-545-6526. Call your name and where you're calling from. Call your name and where you're calling from.
Texas.
Okay, Texas is on the line.
Right.
Texas is on the line. As soon as I heard your voice, I begin to hear the Lord say that my favor is going to overtake her. My favor is about to overtake her. And I felt like the enemy is wanting to do his best to make you feel like you were outside of the miracles that God has for you. But I saw today, particularly the Lord breaking the assignment off of your family line, where the enemy has tried to slow your family line down and to try to stop them from getting into fulfillment. And I saw almost like a jolting coming to your life, where the Lord was going to awaken you, and that favor was going to overtake the favor of the Lord. And I'm saying something about really, listen, even the next 12 days, you're going to get a breakthrough. And I really want you to email us your testimony. But I'm telling you, you're going to get a breakthrough in the next 12 days as it relates to something having to do even with housing. And then I'm saying about God doing something just with your finances, period. There's just 12 days of tremendous breakthrough. And God said, I'm going to show you that I'm real and I'm alive today. And my favor is going to overwhelm, and my favor is going to overtake you. Amen.
I receive it. I believe it.
Yeah.
In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus,
Yes,
Texas.
all right. We'll take that, Texas.
Thank you for calling. I think we can take one more caller.
Can you? All right.
Hello, caller. Your name and where you're calling from. Caller, your name and where you're calling from.
Marcus from Chicago.
Marcus from Chicago. Thank you so much for calling in tonight. Listen, the Spirit of the Lord is talking about, I saw fresh joy. I just saw the scriptures talk about how God will release the joy of the Lord, and the joy of the Lord is our strength. And I felt like there was strength coming to your life with joy and strength. And I felt like the strength is coming for you to fulfill the purpose that you have been set to fulfill, and to fulfill the destiny that's been set before you. Because this call upon your life is great. It's going to take a lot of tenacity. It's going to take a lot of force behind it. And so the Lord said, I'm going to strengthen you in joy. But now I felt like there was a wooing, even a calling into the presence of the Lord in a fresh way. And God said, I want more of your time, and I want more of your energy. And as you come into my presence, I'm going to cause now for your eyes to behold my glory, and for you to begin to operate in new levels of influence. That's the word I heard, that he's increasing your influence in the areas that you're called to. And then I saw a woman looked like around the age of 50 and around your life that the Lord is going to release a miracle to, and this miracle is going to come to her. I even felt like the Lord was releasing it in the next month in her life. And so I feel like God is saying, get ready, be prepared, for this is a season that the Lord is saying, count the cost, because I'm going to cause from great sacrifice to come. But on the other side of this great sacrifice, there is going to be victory and release of abundance to you. You receive that tonight, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. God bless you. God bless you. I mean, these callers are so lackluster tonight. I'm just, my God.
Right, like you said, I guess so.
Mercy.
What you have on that one dress? Oh!
Right.
Oh! I'll take that.
Jesus.
You first said no. You said favor. He was like, yeah, cool.
Mercy.
It's all good.
It's not about emotions, y'all. I prophesy that people would know him, but I'm just saying today. I mean, Mercy.
Hey, you got to
Somebody
believe it and
say
receive it. She said she believe it and receive it.
She, Texas said she believed it and received it.
She sure did.
And
She
then
probably
Jesus
was
next.
that.
Oh, yeah, Sandra K. Allen said she'd take. Hey, Sandra, I ain't seen you in a while. It's great to see you on this Periscope today. It's a faithful Periscope
Faithful
viewer.
Periscope forward. Alright.
She named the show. She was the one that chose.
Oh, she's the one that chose the show name?
Sandra, this
Oh
is
my God. Get it.
Bless the name of the Lord.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. That was our first
Let's
episode
wrap
of
it
the
up.
season. We have some amazing. We have some amazing. Hey, Sandra. Some amazing coaching sessions planned for you this season.
Yeah.
Look, this season is not going to be as long as our first season. We was just going and going and going until we couldn't go no
Yeah.
more. But this one is actually planned out. How
Yeah.
about that? How
Yeah.
about that? And so next week we want you to watch our show. Share this episode with people that maybe didn't get a chance to catch the whole thing or didn't get a chance to check it out live. And then also make sure that you are inviting people to follow us at our new handle with the Dumases. You'll be hearing about some of our personal ministry endeavors that we have coming up. I have Saturdays, which are encouraging sessions for women. And so this month not this month, I guess it's next month, September, at the end of the month, we'll be talking about perfectionism. And so it definitely is something I've struggled with and made some really stupid decisions in trying to be perfect and spinning my wheels trying to be something I could never attain. But if you want to come hang out with me on a Saturday, then come hang out with me on a Saturday. And we're doing a marriage boot camp.
Marriage boot camp. Doing it with the Dumases, and you can go to doingitwiththedumases.com, and to register for her event, you can go to JaquetDumas.com.
And so we just want to let you guys know the other stuff that we have going on. If you want to hang out with some married couples, get some advice, be built up, then it'll be a good time.
It's going to be amazing. So thanks so much for being on tonight, and we hope to see you next week. Tell friends about it and share it all over social media. Let's play that song one more time as we go out the building. It's coming. It's on. It's now. Now it's on. In my ear. Dance.
Which is left.
What?
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Left shoulder tap.
Oh, that's what the song said. Too wrong. I hope you get too much for y'all.
Don't sing though. Just dance. Don't sing. Show your armpits.
Bye, y'all. We'll see you next week.